This is a 2025 F-150 XLT with the Powerboost. In a moment here, I'll explain to you why it's so important to consider the Powerboost in the F-150 lineup. But first, I want to talk a little bit about this truck. So, like I mentioned at the very beginning, this is a 2025 F-150 XLT. I will put the window sticker up right here. Up in the very front, we will have our blacked out grille, LED headlights, LED fog lights, front sensors, tow hooks to tow our Chevy friends out. And then if we look on the sides here, we will find our black wheels. We'll have our black badging here, black running boards. Even the Powerboost symbol down here, or badge, is going to be kind of blacked and grayed out. We're going to have color matching door handles, and when we get to the very back, we will see that we have body matched bumpers. Now, the black appearance package is an option in the F-150, and it gives you, of course, all of the black appearance things like the wheels and other things I just mentioned. The color of this truck is called Rapid Red. As you can see in the sunlight here, it's got a little bit of like almost a goldish color. If you look very closely at the paint, you can see a little bit of gold flake in there. But I am colorblind, so don't quote me on that 100%. Before I get too far, I am not one of those other YouTubers that's going to ask or tell you to like or subscribe to this video. And the reasoning is because I value you and your time. And the time that it could have taken you to like or subscribe is very valuable time that could have been used on watching a video about the F-150 hybrid or literally anything else on the internet. It is 2025, 2026 is around the corner, and you can find literally anything on the internet, even stuff you don't even want to know about. You want to know about something about stocks? The internet. You want to know about how big a whale is? The internet. If you want to know the calculation of the estimated amount of fish that would fit in the back of this F-150, we also have the internet. If you want to figure out how many rubber duckies would fit in the center console, we also have the internet. You know how many rubber duckies sit on the dash of a Jeep? I don't know, way too many probably. This particular F-150 does come with the max trailer tow package, which does exceed 10,000 pounds. I'll get the exact towing here on the screen. We do have our big tow mirrors, those are optional. And a really nice feature is when you are towing with the F-150, there's some settings you can adjust that will also include the blind spot detection, not just for the truck, but for the trailer as well. Really nice for those crowded cities or major highways. In the bed, we're going to have a dampened tailgate on the XLT. This here is one of the higher trimmed XLTs. We also have the option for the spray and bed liner. Up here we have a tie down point. We've got another tie down point here. And this is what I get really excited about when I start talking about the F-150 hybrids. And the reasoning is because you don't just get one of these. This is going to be a 120 outlet with a 2.4 kilowatts. You get two, but you also get this one here. This is a 240 30 amps. So those of you that aren't very familiar with this is going to allow us to run quite a bit of power. So your washer, your dryer, we can run this all right here. We can also run some of these smaller welders off of this truck. The nice thing is when this truck is on, especially in the generator mode, what it will do is start the gas engine and shut it off automatically. You have three buttons right here. So the first button here is going to turn the system on and off. This right here is actually a little light. So if you're connecting at night, it's a lot easier to see. You got a little light here also that will light up when we got power. And then we have reset A and reset B for these ones right here. You can also reset the breakers from inside the truck in the cab. I'll show you here in a moment. Here's a hidden feature nobody really talks about when it comes specifically for the hybrid. If you live in a rough neighborhood where gas siphoning is an issue, you're in luck. This here is actually locked. You have to unlock it from inside the truck. Now that I'm in the gas cap, this is actually a capless gas cap. Ford calls it Easy Fuel, and it is trademarked. There's two gates, a first and a secondary gate with two push pins inside. I can't really show you on camera what it looks like, but that will allow this to open with the right size hose, but it does lock it to prevent people from siphoning it. Plus, you have this that locks, so I can't open it unless I unlock it from the inside. On the very back, you'll notice that the reverse lights are actually on right now. This is a feature that Ford has put into the F-150 since 2021 called zone lighting. So it turns on the reverse lights. If it has this little courtesy light here, it turns those on, turns on the cab lights, and if it had box lights inside the bed, it's going to also turn that on. You can also turn on your left and right mirrors as well as your headlights. This feature does turn off automatically when you put it in drive, so that way you don't get a ticket. In Oregon, we call that white light facing to the rear. You don't want a ticket, got your back. We're gonna turn that off as soon as you put in drive. Right here, we have our blind spot detection. That's the actual sensor in here. You do not wanna break these tail lights because that sensor is not cheap, but it is a safety feature. It will light up a little symbol in your mirror when somebody is in your blind spot. It also has rear cross traffic alert. So if we're backing out of this parking spot here and somebody's driving past us, it's going to alert us inside the cab. It does a bunch of beeping. This will also work for the blind spot on your trailer. So as long as your trailer isn't too wide or too long, when you have it set up and you're driving down the road, you won't just cover the blind spot detection of your truck, it will also cover the trailer as well. We have our backup sensors. What those will do is as we get close to something, it will start beeping at us. We've had this in our Fords for years, probably over 20 years now. We have our 7 and 4-prong wiring harness, and of course our tow package as well. The back seat's gonna provide more than enough space for most families and business owners. Flipping up the back seat, this does have our mobile office package. So there is a nice storage compartment down here. We've got plenty of space. We can pull these 2 tabs down on each side, and that will allow us to fold the compartment completely down so we have a flat floor still. If you did have these up and you had your seat down, there's actually a keyhole on either side. You can lock the seat down. So if you needed to secure something valuable underneath the seat, you can absolutely do that. You have vents back here. You have 2 vents, you have a 12-volt socket, you have 2 USB-Cs, as well as a 120 outlet back here. Easy to access for your passengers or for you to charge whatever you like when you're going down the road. Great road tripping trucks, by the way. I positioned a seat in front of me to my setting that I would be comfortable with. I'm just under 6 foot tall. I'm 5'11", or if I'm wearing tall shoes, I'm 6 foot. But anyways, right here, we've got plenty of leg room, and we're going to have a very comfortable seat, believe it or not, especially for a back seat. So the seats are cushy. We've got a good angle, so our feet our legs are at a good angle, so it doesn't feel like we're sitting in the fetal position, which makes it very uncomfortable. We also have cup holders right here, which my personal car does not have cup holders in the very back, only like in the door, but they don't really work. They're like bottle holders. So if you have a cup of coffee here, I could put a cup of coffee. Here, put a cup of coffee. My car does not have them. My own mother makes fun of me. By the way, this truck has been running for the majority of the time I've been filming. Getting into the truck is very nice and easy. If the key's with you in your pocket or on your bag or on your person right nearby, when you put your hand in the door handle right here, it will unlock. If you wanted to lock the truck, you would just put your finger here. The interior of the cabin is well defined and it's set up pretty well. I'm gonna be a little bit biased here. I do work for a Ford dealership, but I also get the opportunity to get into a lot of different vehicles that most people don't get to. So starting on this side, we have our power locks, power windows, power mirrors, easy to do. We've got automatic headlights that has an actual switch. And the reason I mention that is there are some manufacturers that are going away from a physical switch. And I can't talk too much about it because Ford actually has that as an option in the Expedition where it's an actual button on the screen. But for now, the F-150 has an actual switch and knob for it here. We do have adaptive cruise and an option for Blue Cruise, which I did talk about in another video. If you guys have questions about Blue Cruise, please feel free to ask and I'd be more than happy to explain it to you. We have push button start, pro trailer backup assist, trailer brake controller, and then when we change our drive modes, it does change everything about the truck. A lot of people don't know this, but it changes everything from our shift points, forward drive system, traction control settings, and even a rear locker if the truck comes with it. We have a nice large 12-inch screen here that does include Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, and something called Connected Nav. If you want the navigation system to work, you do have to pay a subscription. It's not a ton, but you still have to pay for it. But you do get Ford Pass, which is an app that is free for the life of the vehicle. You can lock and unlock your truck right from your cell phone. Down here, we're going to have a wireless phone charger, and I'm gonna be honest with you, It's hard to find a perfect cell phone charger in a vehicle that's wireless. It's very hard. I always run into the issue of when I go around a corner, especially the way I drive, the cell phone slides just enough to change the contact points. The other thing is with these new iPhones, if you look very closely, you've got the little bezeled out for your camera here. So what that does is that removes some of the contact right here on your case. So maybe I just don't have a good case. It works, doesn't work great is all I'm gonna say. But you do have a nice little slot here, put your cell phone. We've got cup holders here, lots of storage on both sides of the center console. We have two USBs, so one of them is a C and one of them is a regular USB. Engine just now started up if you haven't noticed. And then we've got dual climate control and heated seats. And then of course we have our 360 camera package. Over here we're going to have a button that opens the upper glove box and then the lockable glove box on the right side. And underneath the center console is a nice large compartment. You can fit a few packs of beer in there. I have not actually tried that yet. Maybe I should. Cool feature here, you push this button and the shifter folds down. The reason they did that is because on some F-150s, like this one here, this has the mobile office package. So part of the mobile office package is going to be a better plug here, this work surface here, as well as our inverter back, or actually the inverter is going to come with that, with the hybrid, but also our storage compartment underneath the back seat there. This is really nice. I have personally used this to edit some videos. Some people think that I just did it just because I wanted to shoot a video. No, I was actually sitting out here watching the front for customers and actually using my laptop right here. Really, really cool feature to have actually. Something else that I should mention about the black appearance package. This interior package is going to be a little bit different. So if you look at our seats here, these have something called Activix. We've had this in the Ford lineup since 2020. It's been a great material. It looks a lot like leather. Most people don't know it's not real leather. You don't have to shampoo it. It's easy to clean. We've been very, very happy with this so far. But if you get an XLT with a black appearance package, you are going to get this Activix type material. You're also going to get two exhaust pipes in the rear. Up top, we're going to have a sunglasses holder. If you want upfitter switches on an F-150, unfortunately, you have to go with a Tremor version or the Raptor. That's the only way that they're currently available on the 150. Super Duty, on the other hand, you can get it pretty much across the entire line. You have a button here to power, open and close your rear window. You've got buttons for your lights. You got your mirror and you got your sliding sun visor. Please do not do makeup while driving. It's not safe. Right up here, we do have a rear view mirror, and this does auto dim. So you got that car behind you at night with the bright lights on, this will automatically dim for you. There are some things that you should know about the Pro Power on board. There are two different packages you can get on the hybrid F-150, and actually technically two packages that you can get on the regular F-150. If you get a regular F-150, there's a 400 watt 120 in the bed. It's not a lot of power. It's enough to charge a few things, but you're probably not going to be running something high draw like a curling iron. If you are getting a upgraded one in the regular non-hybrid F-150, the next package up is going to be a 2 kilowatt. Now, if you go to a hybrid F-150, there's a 2.4 kilowatt generator that's standard, or there's a 7.2 kilowatt generator that this one has. That's an option, not a standard option, but that's an option that this truck comes with. Now, using it is kind of easy. You plug it in, you turn it on, and you use it. But there's a few things. If you have a sensitive ground fault, and what that means is if there's a fault in the ground system that the truck detects, it's going to shut the breaker off. So it's really important to make sure that your equipment that you're operating is properly grounded. If you go into the menu here, that's easy to do. So you go to features right on the bottom here, and then you go to Pro Power on board. You could turn the system on or off. And then right here is where you turn on the power in the bed. But as you can see right now, it's got 33 miles until empty, and it's not wanting to turn on because it wants us to be able to get to the gas station right over there. We do have something called the generator mode. So what this will do is it will turn the truck on in that mode so that way you can use it. The nice thing about this is when it's in generator mode and you have the key with you, you can actually get out of the truck. you can lock the doors, and if the key's not in the truck, by the way, whether you're in generator mode or not, it's not gonna wanna go and drive. But when you get out, you can actually lock the truck so the cabin is secure, and if somebody did wanna drive the truck, it's gonna be really hard unless they have the key. Now you might be wondering, who is actually this truck made for? Well, I've sold these trucks to all kinds of people. I've sold some of the lower trim trucks to people that just want an affordable truck that's fuel efficient and has the generator in the bed. I've also sold several of these trucks to businesses. Business owners love these trucks, and one of the reasons is because the built-in generator in the bed. It's less cost for them to go and purchase an extra generator, especially this size. It's also going to be a little bit more efficient, and it's going to be a lot quieter. So if they're on a job site somewhere, they can run this, right? It's on right now, by the way, and my microphone's right here. You can hear how much noise it makes. All I hear is a little fan. And if it starts up the engine, it's just an idling engine. Most of the time, people aren't going to know that there's an engine idling. Business owners, that's who I sell a lot of these trucks to. I sell a lot of these trucks to people that just want good fuel economy, and I sell a lot of these to also people that use it for camping. One of my managers, who's actually on vacation right now for hunting season, he's got a camp trailer that he tows with the truck. He'll power the entire camper for about a week straight, and this just runs throughout the night. The engine starts and shuts off all the time. He also has the onboard Wi-Fi, so he kind of gets the pulse of every world. So he's got one cell provider. That cell provider does not work up in the woods, but this cell provider for this truck does. So he gets onboard Wi-Fi. He doesn't have to carry and lug around a generator and worry about that thing being stolen. And then on top of that, when he's driving on the Forest Service roads, the truck is a lot quieter because it is a hybrid and it goes into electric mode quite often. He does not hunt from the truck as far as shooting from the truck, in case you guys are wondering. Do you guys think that it's worth buying the hybrid? Let us know down in the comments below, and I'd be happy to hear from you, my favorite viewer.